We're
No,
gonna
well,
do
we
okay.
waited 5 minutes. So
Okay.
if he shows up, he shows up. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that's hears the sound of my voice to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed Podcast, where we venture our petty and ill-informed opinion about a variety of topics. Joining me, as always, Nikki.
Hi.
And looks like it's just going to be Nikki tonight. How is everyone doing? How are you, Nikki? Talk to me.
I
Connect with me.
connect with you. I'm doing good. I just got finished having a long rant, but I'm doing good. I'm really
Can,
excited to be here, and we might have a Phil. That'll be great.
can confirm she did have a long rant.
How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Thanks for asking. So, since it's just two of us here, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? First,
Okay.
so the beginning of the week, pretty slow, slow, slow. One of the things I was expecting. Now, let me preface this by saying I don't care who the American president is. I really don't. I'm British. It doesn't affect my life at all whatsoever. But he
Or
said he
does
was
it?
gonna. But he said he was gonna annex Canada. And I'm not going to lie, that amused the fuck out of me.
But what didn't amuse you is finding out that he wasn't going to rule out warfare to get Greenland.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Danish mates. I contacted them and they said that it'd be the same if Trump wanted to annex Wales. That would just be all like, oh no, don't take Wales, please, no. Oh well, he's conquered Wales, nothing we can do about it.
Damn it. Well, we tried, guys. We
We
tried. We
tried.
told him no.
We told him no several times.
But yeah, it was definitely interesting.
Canada.
Canada, the 51st state. We're going to change the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. I think he said something about Greenland being our land or some BS like that. I don't know. We're going to rename all the things. And I think it's wonderful. I'm here for it. I think we should rename everything. We should actually rename Canada America's top hat. And then, like Mexico, Canada's goatee. I'm just saying. What it would be more like trying to annex the Falklands. Yeah.
I'm. Does did no one say anything like to him before or after that press conference? Did nobody go, maybe don't declare war on one of our biggest trading allies?
I mean, like, maybe he'll drop, like, maybe he doesn't care, dude. Like, he doesn't give a crap, man. He gives
Fuck.
no shits. He's just living his best Trump life. He got sentenced or whatever. He doesn't have to serve any time for like 32. I don't remember how many freaking felonies. So he's just living his best life. Like, why would he not stop? Who's stopping him? Nobody.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment with President-elect Trump. Great start as far as I'm concerned. Great start to the next 4 years. It should be a giggle. Should be a giggle for everyone in the audience, myself included.
Like, I'm just like, it's 4 years. It's just 4 years, man. Who knows? Who knows? He's had a bad run of things before he even got nominated. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a ride. A ride. It's Phil.
I just wish our prime ministers could be, hey Phil, could be half as entertaining when they took office. If Keir Starmer had got onto the podium and said, as my first act as prime minister, I'm declaring war on France. That just Be great. That'd be fantastic. But no, we get stuck with boring politicians that go, as we move forward, the Labour Party is committed to better decisions for the entire country.
And we've just got like Trump being all like, you 51st state, what's up, bitch?
I know that was
Gonna
funny.
change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
I mean, he actually said that right to his face. That was funny as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, man, dude, it's a joke, okay? It's like, dude,
that was some good stuff. That was a good start. Good.
Trudeau's like not a shot in hell. Not gonna happen.
oh no, that wasn't the point, you know. The point is, I got your goat, dude. You know, I know your name. I know your name.
Yeah.
Look up my number.
Everybody knows Trudeau's name. He's probably the best looking man in politics.
I don't know. I thought he looked like kind of like a weasel.
I mean, like he is. He
dare
is
you
kind of like a
insult
weasel.
weasel.
He's exactly.
He looks pretty good in blackface, though.
Oh, right. Like so, I said he is a weasel, but he's not a bad looking dude.
Yeah. Well, he looks. I don't know. Even at his age, he still looks boyish. You know, boyish.
Yes. Yeah, he does. He does have that. I think that's probably how he.
It's like when he got into politics, I'm thinking, how did people take this guy seriously? Yeah, I mean, look at him and listen to his voice, and well, it must have been a great used car salesman in the day, you know.
Anyway, so that was the stunning news at the beginning of the week that Trump was going to annex their biggest trading ally. And, oh God! Oh, that just like never a dull moment. Like I said, never a dull moment. I wish our politicians were half as entertaining as that.
Like, and it's like crazy. One of the things that I watch, they call him a WMD, a weapon of mass distraction.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, basically. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He weaponizes shit that doesn't need to be weaponized. Like he's going after Newsom, saying that he didn't sign this bill and he turned it down. The bill never existed in the first place. He never signed a bill. The bill never existed. It's just a lie. You know, he wants to turn it into a political thing. Dude, you already won, my guy. You already won. Like, show some decorum. You're not even in office yet. Why are you flinging political shit at people when they're, maybe
I don't think it's political shit. I think it's just Trump. I mean, my opinion is he's not a politician. He's a businessman. So he's going to basically say anything, any goddamn thing he wants to say, just for the hell of it. I mean, if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, oh well.
Yep, and we accept it. Like,
well, okay, but you look at the alternative. The borders are closed. Yeah, the borders are closed. Oh yeah, the borders are great.
Listen, can I just tell you that I live in a neighborhood that is probably, I would say, 98% Spanish, Latinos of some sort. Probably most of them aren't legal.
West African, Middle Eastern.
But what I'm saying is like, this is the coolest, most chill, and I feel safest place I have lived in a really long time. I love Mexico and I love the people, but that's not really the issue. I get that, but would you have someone yelling that the issue is that these people are violent rapists?
No one said that Mexicans were violent rapists. They said they were violent rapists coming across the border.
I mean, I love Mexican food, but
now the cartel does not represent the Mexican people. It represents the cartel.
Okay. So, as I said, we're not a political show, and I, as a British person, I don't have a horse in the race. I just thought it was funny, and I look forward to the next 4 years because it should be funny. It should be a good giggle if this is a sign of things to come. And I wish my British politicians, Keir Starmer, should be taking note of this. And this is how you run a country. because I could do with a giggle. But then my prime minister sounds like the Kermit the Frog.
shit.
So
We were on the air?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I wouldn't have been
Yeah.
all political and shit.
It was my bad. All right. Anyway, so moving. Let's. I forgot. Right, yeah. So I'm really tired. What?
Yeah, well, just remember, your prime minister isn't the one who removed Mrs. Tondele from the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs. Tondele. That's a great song. I listen to that. I've got that on my phone on an MP3, and I listen to that sometimes. That's a good tune. I might hook my phone up and try and
Kind of a-
re-download it.
Kind of a snappy little tune.
Yeah. There's some good stuff. Back in the day when we used to try, we had an intro and everything.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Those were the days. So, Fortean news. What's going on with all them drones in America? UAPs?
Yeah,
They're
flying-
ours.
Yeah,
They're
flying
ours.
around. Flying around, you know.
They're ours. They're obviously ours. We're
Yeah.
like, don't worry about them. And I
Yeah.
think that we shouldn't worry about them. They're not disrupting anything.
Right.
It's very freaking weird.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was talking to one of my surgeons and they did that with like an F bomber or whatever. Back when they first introduced it, they had it flying above New York and stuff just to get people acclimated to seeing them around.
Yeah.
So,
Not a big deal, really. Well, it
I
is if
believe
you make
it's-
it a big deal.
right. And now if we have things like UAPs that aren't ours, kind of like what they're suggesting that are coming from the oceans, that's a bit different. That's problematic. But whatever is above in the air is that's ours. I'm pretty sure it is. I've heard stories and like conspiracies that they're basically like bomb detectors and they're running them for tests and crap like that. I'm not sure. Who knows? But, you know, I think that they're ours because we're real quick to shoot someone out of the air if we don't know. I mean, we took down a balloon, you know, a quote unquote weather balloon, whatever. We took that crap down. We wouldn't just be allowing these things
Well,
to fly through the air.
kind of late for it. It already gathered and sent information.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they could have shot it down, you know, over Canada or
Mhm.
over Alaska.
That's true. They could have. I mean,
But-
they waited, but they didn't wait this long.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's really nothing to shoot down at this point. I mean, we've got police drones, real nice ones too, and they're
Mhm.
pretty big, and they've got all the infrared
Yeah.
and all that shit.
So think about what the
Um,
military could do.
yeah.
I mean, like these things are the size of cars and minivans. Of course they are. They need to be able to house all of the stuff to make them go so that when they target an area, they don't have to send in our guys. They send in that machine.
Yep, that's right.
It's loaded. It probably doesn't even have a pilot at this point.
Well, look at the advancements in drone tech. You know that the Ukrainians have imposed on their drones. I mean, they've got boat drones now. You know, nobody at the helm, and these boats are going after Russian ships. And it was that, oh yeah, okay, they will run into a ship and everything will blow up. Now that the Russians have got helicopters looking for these boat drones, they've installed missile launchers on the boat drones, and they're taking down helicopters with them.
Yeah, you have. I know, because then now you have people that are like, please stop trying to shoot down the drones. Like they made a public announcement, stop trying to shoot down the drones because people were in their backyards, like playing, you know, target practice with these things.
I think it's their right as Americans to shoot down drones, isn't it?
It's what?
It's their
Yes.
right as
Yeah.
Americans to shoot down drones.
It's
I
all right.
mean,
It's all right to defend ourselves against a known threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a
you know,
Fourth Amendment
if you know-
violation as well.
you know, if you know it's a drone and you're shooting in your backyard, that's against city ordinance. You're going to get, you know,
In
slapped
trouble.
on the hand. You know.
Right,
It's
but it's
not.
against
If
the
you out in
Fourth
the
Amendment,
country,
surely.
nah.
If it's surveillance drones.
But what's to say it is, and what's to say the government wouldn't lie and say that it wasn't for that?
Yeah, we also have the right to overthrow the government, but they didn't like that
Nobody's
idea.
fucking doing it, right? Where are those guys?
Oh, they were arrested.
Yeah.
Yep.
And put in jail.
And they were put in jail without a trial.
Which was
No. They definitely had trial. If you're talking about the January 6th one, some of them were First Amendment auditors, and I know for a fact they had trials because they made a big deal about it.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them were Mexicans too.
Mexican.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean,
yeah.
But were they legal or illegal?
Aha. Aha.
Well, my thing is no, I know a lot of Mexicans and Latina people who I believe firmly voted against their own interests in voting for Trump. And they're legal here. They're legal here. The problem is not Trump, right? The problem isn't Trump actually deporting these people. The problem is the communities that have been popping up everywhere in neighborhoods. And this is legitimately a thing. And I've done a lot of deep dives on it. These communities are going, well, Trump won. He said he's going to start mass deportation. Let's fucking start it now. Let's start rounding up all our brown neighbors to the left and to the right. Let's fucking get it done. That's where the problem is going to become.
So how many people in your neighborhood are illegal aliens?
I have no clue. I've never asked them because I don't give a crap. We mind our own business. It's a very peaceful neighborhood, and I don't care whether they're here.
Well, I mean, just for statistical purposes.
I have no clue. Yeah. But I know many legal immigrants who have been here, and that's awesome. And like legitimately, I don't care. If you're not bothering me, I'm not going to bug you. You guys live next door to me. I know you're paying property taxes. You are paying taxes to somebody to live here. Like, I know what it takes to get one of you guys have the capability and the right to be in this country. There might be 10 of you in that house. Y'all quiet. You mind your business. I mind mine. You're paying your taxes to the city. I'm paying mine. I give zero shits. None.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. We've had technically illegal aliens or people who were Mexican citizens in this country for many decades in California.
Yeah, absolutely. I know.
But the ones that are working, whether they're working the fields or whatever, or they're working as car mechanics, it doesn't matter. They have work visas. They actually come in legally, even though they're not U.S. citizens.
They overstay their visa,
and they can fix that.
Yeah, people don't realize that is the main thing. It's not like they're just coming over here illegally. They come over legally and then they overstay their visa.
Yeah, but those aren't the targeted people that the administration is talking about.
Right, but the thing is the administration has access to the exact same words that you're using. They're not using those words.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So here's the thing.
What you're talking about is they're using the fear words.
Yeah, my thing is yeah, absolutely, they're fear mongering. The people that live around me, like, they just want to do right by their families and make a better life for themselves. They're quiet. Like I said, they don't want to draw any attention. They just want to work, and every single one of them fucking works. I know where a couple of them work. Every single one of them works, and they come home and they mind their business, and they just want to be left alone and live a better life than wherever they were before.
Well, it would be nice if that was the norm. When I was a police officer in the Oregon coast, we'd get what we call flatlanders come into the area who are Hispanic, and they cause nothing but trouble and heartache, and they would
There's going to
molest.
be those
Yeah,
people in
well,
every
okay.
group.
So here's the thing: you're going to pick and choose, or you're just going to resolve the issue. The issue is how many millions of people have come into the country that we as taxpayers now have to support.
But do you notice that every single immigrant that we openly discuss on television as politicians, it's Mexicans, it's Haitians, it's Africans. We don't talk about British people, Canadians. If you white,
Don't even get
you
me
write
started
for
on British people.
America. No, absolutely not. Like, my thing is there are plenty of people who come over here and overstay that are white and are causing shit too. We don't talk about them though. Let's not discuss that it's everybody in immigration. Let's only discuss the brown people. It makes me angry.
Let's discuss the brown people. If you're brown, don't come around.
Basically, that's kind of how we act. And it's ridiculous.
And if you're black, you're going back.
That's basically how they
And if
act. Yes.
And if you're Chinese, you're a commie. And we're
exactly.
Yeah.
And we're going to put you in a camp just like we the Japanese people like 70 years ago.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah, let's talk to George Takei about how he felt about being in a concentration camp
I
as
would
a
rather-
legal
I would
American
rather-
immigrant.
I would rather cut off my own genitals than talk about George Takei.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, Nikki, Pearl Harbor was a bit of a dick move.
I get that, but my thing is like this is going to happen all over again.
Of course it is. All of human history is the same three things
But the
happening
thing
all
is-
over again.
It's like you see it happening and you know what the ultimate end is going to be. Why do you ride the wave? Why do you ride the wave happily into that instead of standing up and going, you know what, this is fucking crazy?
Because there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, we can send them all back.
Well,
Yeah,
but
we can
can't
send
be-
them all back.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about that mass exodus. Where are we going to put them first while they're waiting to go over and be expedited to their country? We're going to put them in a fucking camp. Are we not?
Well, yeah.
Well,
I
that
mean,
sounds like a great idea, Nikki. I
I'm-
never thought about that.
I'm talking about the 1%. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like if you're like arrested on a crime, instead of putting in our jail or going out on bail, you send them back.
No, listen, I agree with that 100%. You know what the problem with that is? And here's the problem with I know someone personally whose baby daddy has been deported from the United States 5 times. You give him 3 to 6 months, he's right back in Tennessee.
How did he make it back to Tennessee?
I have no idea how he's making it back, but every 3 to 6 months, once he gets out of jail after his deportation, he is back in the country. I don't know if he's
Open
going
borders.
through.
That's
I don't-
open borders for you.
Coyotes.
And my
probably.
thing is I don't have a problem with carting people at the border and all of that stuff. I know how insecure that place is because my brother used to literally bring illegals in an RV through the fucking Texas border at Brownsville or wherever that place is south of Harlingen. He used to literally have an RV full of Mexicans. He would him and 2 other white guys were in the front. The cops would go, let me see your ID. He would show it to them. They would look in the back, go, everybody else here American. Everybody would say, yeah, we're American. And they would just go on.
Yeah, open border.
I don't have a problem with having to go through and show verification. I do not have that problem at all.
ICE wasn't really doing their job because they were basically encouraged not to do their job. They were lacked in funding and so forth and manpower and all that. So there wasn't enough hours in the day to actually do what they needed to do. There wasn't enough people to do what they needed to do. And, and I have no problem with people coming across the border. I welcome everybody to come across the border. I just want them to use the front door.
And I get that. I'm with you 100%. And I don't have that problem. My problem is that the mentality is dangerous right now. It's dangerous. And we have a leader who's coming in, who shoots out the mouth, that has people who fucking worship him, who say that he's joking, who say that, oh, he didn't mean it like that. He really meant this. Well, why doesn't he have his own interpreter? Why doesn't he have someone that writes something for him? Because my thing is, you say it's a joke. You say it's a joke. Right?
Can you imagine?
That's like
Can
a
you
guy
imagine?
going, man, I want to fuck you so good, man. You're pussy, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's offensive. Oh, man, it's a joke. I didn't know that was a joke. Who's laughing? Where's his audience? No one
Can
was
you
laughing.
imagine?
It's
I'm
stupid.
still trying to figure out what Nikki's talking about.
I'm
There's a
talking
guy-
about literally, you just said that Trump saying he wanted to annex Canada was a joke.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
Greenland
yeah.
thing was
That's
a joke.
funny.
No, I get it's funny, but it's not a joke.
Can you
It's not a
imagine?
joke.
Every time any politician gives a speech, an interpreter standing next to him saying
Dude, you know
what
you
he
know who-
actually meant is.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Key and Peele. They had the Obama angry translator. So
Oh, yeah.
Obama would say something, and then Keegan-Michael Key would pop up and be like, blah, blah, blah. You
Yeah.
stole. Yeah, he would just like go off, and then he would step back. We need one of those because, like, it's not just Trump. It's so many. It's all left and right. Like, they said what they said. They have the same words that we have to say the same things that we can. Instead, they chose to say X. They did not say X and then but Y and Z. They didn't say that. They said X, and that's what they mean.
Hey,
You
Tom.
just got to take them for their word. What's up, Tom?
And as Nikki Slick's interpreter, may I just say,
Yeah, and our Prime Minister definitely needs one because he sounds like Kermit the Frog, as I already
Kermit
said.
the Frog here.
Yeah, exactly.
he's so
he needs
funny.
someone to make him sound like a real man.
Frog here.
You get his voice in Trump's hands. Beautiful. It's a beautiful
Oh
pairing.
my God, that would be fucking awesome. Can you imagine?
And then what's his face's hair? Who's that crazy dude that y'all had?
Boris Johnson.
Yes, Boris Johnson. Get
Boris Johnson's hair,
hair.
Keir Starmer's voice, Trump's hands, and fucking
Mitch
Hillary
McConnell's
Clinton.
face. I'm down.
Hillary Clinton's. Oh, yeah, okay. Mitch McConnell, that works better.
Yeah, like
And-
Mitch
and-
McConnell.
And
yeah.
Michelle's penis.
And Michelle's penis. That is it. That just works. That is the perfect politician. I'd vote for them.
Yeah, me
Hi
too.
guys, sorry I'm late to the party. What am I miss? Catch
Well,
me up. Where
I
are we at?
mistakenly started the show talking about Trump saying he was going to annex Canada, and it led to a political debate.
Ah, okay.
Well, it's not a debate. Just like heated me getting pissed off. It just makes me mad. I live here, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be amusing as fuck. I'm just gonna be angry. I already know. I'm just gonna stay angry, but it's 4 years and probably nothing's gonna happen. I have a passport. If something did happen, I'm just outie. Who
Yeah,
wants
I
me
know
to
what
couch
you mean.
there?
I mean,
I'm glad you're sort of sanguine and slightly calm about it, Nikki, because
Oh, he just totally missed all of that. I
yeah, he just missed.
opposite.
Yeah, she is.
of
She's
Phil.
the opposite of that. She is not
She's
copacetic.
laying in at all.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
I just think it's dangerous. It really
Hey,
bothers.
hey,
I'm really
hey.
worried.
Arnie,
Yeah.
just shut up. Just stop right now.
Okay. Okay. Clearly, I would say I failed to read the room, but I haven't been in the room.
That's right. It's okay. It's all good. Yeah, I just had
Thanks.
to go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I got heated. I just really worry about people and what I see in our future. If it's not Trump, it's like everybody. If everybody just sits back and goes, yeah, let's do it this way.
I don't know.
It's
It does
scary.
seem like we're on the road to World War III. You know, with Putin and the Ukraine Even the Scottish Independence Party's kicking off again. And, it seems like we're getting ready for a big rumble again.
Well,
Yeah,
but
it
here's
does
the
kind of seem
thing,
that way.
like
But as long as the Americans are sheeple, things cannot go right.
I
They're
don't know. I
they're
think
already. I'm waiting for the mandatory vaccine for bird flu now.
bird flu.
Oh, yeah, they keep hyping the shit out of the bird flu. Oh my God, somebody's
Listen,
got a case of bird flu in New York City.
yeah, they were a freaking farmer.
National news.
They were a freaking farmer, y'all. Don't eat your chickens right now, okay? Just don't do it. Don't eat your chickens. Don't go to the store right now and get some free range ass chickens from Whole Foods. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just don't eat chicken right now. Eat some lean like beef, something.
I'm gonna eat all the chicken I want. If I get bird flu, big
Well-
deal. I'll just
well,
my
yeah,
body's
I
gonna
mean,
slough it right off. I don't care.
Yeah, you might not even know that you have it because and honestly, I'm not saying it's not that bad, but like it's comparable to COVID, and I've had COVID multiple times. Would I ever want it again? Fuck no. But most
Yeah, well,
people,
I've
unless you
I've
have a
had the
lot of
flu.
comorbidities.
I've had the regular flu a couple times, and I don't want that again either.
Yeah,
But they're not
period.
going to hype the hell out of that. They're just going to say,
Right.
"Well, it's that time of year. Get your free flu shot if you want it. If you don't, then
Yeah.
you're still going to keep your job."
Yeah. And I say, well, what's crazy? So in my line of work, if I were at a hospital and I refused the flu shot, I would have to wear a mask while indoors, period,
Yeah.
no matter where I was,
Right.
nothing. I'm so glad that my work's not like that. My work didn't they forced people to get the jab and then retracted it a bit too late. So I had already gotten it. I've never gotten a booster. And I turned down the flu shot because it will literally kill me. Like I go into full body hives. So,
Right. I didn't mind the
but there's
mask
no
thing
purpose
so
for
much.
me. Oh no,
Well,
I love being in a mask. I'm in a mask the majority of the time anyway. There are times that I'm like halfway down the road before I realize that I haven't taken my mask off of my face yet.
Yeah, people encourage me to wear a mask all the time, but it has nothing to do with the flu.
Listen, Phil, you
Well, I
can't
didn't-
help it. Not everybody's going to be attracted to your kind of handsome.
That's why we won't let him.
I like
turn
the
it.
way you put that. My kind of handsome, not
You are
not the general
handsome.
public. The general public's form of handsome.
I
You're
mean,
kind of
that's,
handsome.
that's the
Guys,
reason I won't let Phil turn his camera on. Is the internet's just not ready for his raw sexuality just yet.
I've seen Phil's face. Phil's adorable. I mean, he's not Henry Cavill, is what I'm saying.
Who
If
is?
he were Henry
Okay,
Cavill, I'd
right.
be like, take off your shirt and get on cam. Now let's do the show.
Okay.
And then you just have me messaging you. Rub your nipples.
All right.
One of the things I thought was most interesting about the whole about COVID, or one of my big takes from it was, I remember when it was emerged, people were talking about, well, where did this come from? What's the story here? And people and a lot of things were dismissed as conspiracy theories, and one of the things that was dismissed as a conspiracy theory was the idea that it could have been made in a lab in China or something like that. And if you believed that, then you were sort of, someone who you were immediately someone who drank the Kool-Aid, or someone who, believed whatever idiot on the internet said and that kind of things. It was dismissed, and then that actually became a likely possibility. I mean, I even talked to scientist friends. A friend of mine, one of the cleverest people I know, this guy has a PhD in chemistry. And I talked to him, and he said to me, "Oh, it's basically impossible." Yet that. Oh, and I think I don't know this. This is one of the uninformed ones. I think that people like Facebook came under pressure to class this sort of talking like this under misinformation and disinformation and false truths and alternative facts and those kinds of things. And yet then it became apparent that, oh, actually this is either a distinct possibility or it's even likely that it was made in a lab, COVID, and it was an accidental lab escape.
Yeah,
And so it's like, oh, okay, so the official truth has changed now, has it?
right.
And that's the kind of thing that had me thinking an awful lot about, because I am not someone who buys into conspiracy theories. I'm someone who's always sort of towed the line with this kind of this kind of talk. I've been happy enough to, I took my vaccine, I wore my mask, I was one of the people who just complied with it all quite happily. But and yeah, it was this change, and it really got me to think, had me stop and think about exactly what, how much can you trust the government? How much are the government controlling news and the media, and how much of a case do, critics of it, the sort of people you don't normally listen to, maybe they've got something to say.
They always start conspiracy theories with questions. When it first came out, it was called, and this is right out the gate. It was called the Wuhan virus. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it just so happens that this particular virus was developed in a lab in Wuhan, China.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
ours.
Okay, and then when the officials in China was asked about, well, how did this happen? It was, it was like some kind of like, oh, I don't know, a penguin mated with a turtle.
Someone
that
had
kind of
sex with a
shit.
bat.
This pigeon came and screwed a bat, and poof, it just happened. And there were so many steps that were necessary. No, we didn't know it at the time, but to create this virus. And but people who were saying, look, it's Wuhan, there's a Wuhan, and they've had leaks before in the lab. And that we've sent people over to look at the labs, and they said, yeah, this thing's an accident waiting to happen. This is before the Wuhan virus escaped, and it did. I mean, there's just no other way around it. There's no other way it could have happened.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still believe I still don't believe things like it was an intergovernmental conspiracy. I find that very hard to believe, because governments are terrible at cooperating on things. And why on earth would they cooperate about this? You can't.
Well, Yes. I mean, you got a very good point there. It's just like the 9/11 thing, right? And people were saying, oh yeah, well, Bush did it, him and his cronies, they blew up the because of this reason and that reason and this reason. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? If this actually happened, if they actually pulled this off, there would have to have been thousands of people that knew about it. Thousands of people had to be, or at least hundreds had to be involved in it, and not one person's talking in let's say a government conspiracy where they can't even hide semen on a blue dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the idea of it being made in a Chinese lab was it with American funding or something like that?
Yeah, I want to say that we own that laboratory. Like, I want to say it was ours.
It is not too hard to believe that, secret branch of the FBI would be conducting some sort of germ warfare development. That is
CIA.
the FBI.
Actually, it'd be the CIA.
The CIA.
Yeah, most
Sorry,
of the time.
I chose my
It's
wrong.
okay.
initialism.
So the CIA is y'all's MI5, right? Yeah, your spooks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
No,
our
MI5
CIA
isn't MI5 military?
or is it MI6?
Yeah.
It's MI6, maybe.
The way to remember it is the FBI assassinates single people. The ATF blows up entire compounds, and the CIA does the mass poisonings.
And the psyops. And like they're the psyops guys. Like, the CIA are no joke. I wanted to be part of the CIA so bad growing up.
Yeah, There
I
are
did
there
so
are
bad.
just like in any other government, there are different factions. Some work in any of the 3-letter groups you name.
Yeah.
There's going to be some sort of CIA operative in the WHO.
Yeah.
You know, the CIA had to have been involved with the WHO and the Hunan lab, and they
Yeah.
fed the information to the media, and the media fed it to us.
Yeah.
And then there we are, the sheeple going lining up for our shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have you didn't have to have travel papers over there, did you? When you got your shot,
Travel
Well, if-
papers.
we had
Yeah.
to have we had to have travel papers. We got a card that said we'd been vaccinated, and we
Oh, we got a
stopped by-
card too. We
Yeah,
got
We
a
got
card
stopped
too.
by the police. We had to show it to them.
Oh, we never had that fucking.
Yeah,
That would have
because
never.
because the
That
cops
would've
over
never
here
went
were
down.
completely. Our cops aren't completely, with their heads up their asses over here.
Mm-mm.
They like. Wait, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see your medical card, dude.
Yeah, like they were so legit, like for the most part, very respectful of people that didn't want to put on their masks for as long as they could. If the person wasn't being a nuisance, there wasn't a problem. If the
I mean,
person was being a nuisance and like licking containers and shit, then
Every
it was
time
an
I went,
issue.
every time I went to the store, like there's a Safeway here, and I'd go down there and I'd get my rum at Safeway, and it would be 10 at night, and I'd walk into the Safeway store, and I would not have my mask on, and I'd ask the person to unlock the booze cabinet. He'd unlock the booze cabinet, then I'd grab my rum out of the booze cabinet, and I go up to the front counter, and I lay it down on the counter, and I paid for my rum, and I walked the fuck out, and not one person asked me to put on a fucking mask right in the middle of the pandemic. They didn't care.
Yeah, nobody in my town really cared either.
I never cared about the mask thing because
No.
the mask
If I went
thing.
shopping with my wife, she would make sure that I had the freaking mask on. It pissed me off. And in fact, it was her reason that I got the shot in the first place. Because otherwise,
Well,
I wasn't going to get it.
The mask thing just didn't bother me. I was just like, it doesn't hurt me at all, and bottom line, whatever. Who cares? It's just a bloody mask.
No,
But
it's
the
not.
shot thing, the mandatory vaccine thing, really annoyed me.
Yeah, it's the control. It was all a matter of control. Businesses went out of business.
Yeah,
No.
well, that's what it was all about. It was all about money. Someone was making money off that.
Oh, you damn right they were.
Yeah, Michelle Monet or Moan, whatever her name is. My God, that was just terrible. Did you see that interview on TV, Richard? Do you know who I'm talking about?
The woman that bought a bunch of PPE and then sold it off.
Yeah, well, she said I can get fast track PPE. She's just set up her own company, got I don't know how many million of the taxpayers' money, was perfectly happy to cream a ton of that off as profit for herself. And she went and years and bought this PPE stuff that was useless, and most of it was just chucked away. It was absolutely obscene. And then she came on TV and did an interview, and it was her level of unreality was absolutely shocking. It was stunning how out of touch she was and how she thought what she'd done was absolutely okay. Well, I haven't got any money. It's all embedded in trust funds for my children. Right, that's okay then.
When people ask me what I did during the pandemic, I tell them that I was a rear gunner on an Andrex truck.
I was doing college work,
Uh,
and I didn't mind like the 6 feet and the mask thing, only because I have a mom who gets sick, and if she were sick, she probably wouldn't do well. And so I just always was like, what if the person in front of me in line is, immunocompromised? And because I'm not wearing a mask, if their N95 isn't proper fitted, which most people just get N95s, they don't realize that they're supposed to be fitted. So if it's not proper fitted, and I'm at a hospital doing clinicals.
The person in line had a cloth mask on that did little, if anything, against the virus. And I thought that 6 feet apart was to protect you from giving the virus to someone else. but not no
Well,
not
but you
5'11", not 6'1", 6 foot exactly. They figured this out. I don't know how. 6 feet to protect you from another person, but you have to wear the mask.
basically
Now, why
it's
do you have to wear the mask if you're already 6 foot away from someone?
okay, so you're 6 foot away from someone, and so whether or not you get sick, like say someone had COVID and they touch a surface and you touch it afterwards and you walk off, you might not get sick even if you like licked your fingers afterwards because the viral load isn't high enough. So you're hoping that with you wearing a mask, if you sneeze, your sputum hopefully doesn't go further than 6 feet. Hopefully. But in the case that it does, it's went through your mask and now it has to go through theirs. Like most of yours, like it's not perfect, right? It's not going to work every time. But the thing is like your mask protects people from you. You know, I'm not wearing a mask at work.
Well, that's what they claimed
because I'm afraid. Well, I'm not wearing a mask at work because I'm afraid of getting something. Prions, yes, can be transferred through the eye in theory, but the eye has a totally different ecosystem. If I were to like stab someone in the eye and then accidentally stab myself and they had HIV, the chances of me getting HIV through vitreous fluid, very, very slim. Anyway.
Why would you?
My thing is, I'm saying if okay, not stab an eye. Say that they used the blade in that person with HIV or AIDS' eye, and then I accidentally stab myself or cut myself with it. This does happen in my profession. It can. So anyway, chances are nothing's gonna happen. But I'm wearing that mask not because I'm afraid of getting something, but if I sneeze, if I cough, if I talk, whatever, my sputum is maintained in my mask, and I have sneezed many times and I would be sneezing right in someone's eye. Like it's to protect them from contaminants from the air and aerosol. Like from when you talk, you release sputum.
There's, I think, a little bit of a difference though between standard safety precautions in certain situations like the medical field and being controlled and brainwashed to the point where you're required to wear a mask every time you step out of your house.
See, and I get that. But from a medical field perspective, I also understood that everybody just wear a mask. Like
I don't think the medical issue was really an issue. I think it, at least not as far as I was concerned. I still put on a mask when I go into the doctor's office because it's the best place to catch the flu or a cold.
Exactly. And that's the thing. If there's something going around,
if that's on me, and you have a job, that's on you.
But see, here's the thing. You putting on the mask when you go to the doctor's office does nothing, because the sick person next to you that doesn't have a mask on, they say good morning, it could be over. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not 6 feet away from them, if they're sick and not wearing a mask, your mask isn't really going to help you too much.
Who started the Hunan thing? Was that Arnie?
Hunan? Who's Hunan? What?
You mean the Wuhan?
I mean, what did I say? Hunan? Wuhan.
Yeah. The Wuhan thing.
I started that. Right.
But yeah, like there were several things that they did that were stupid. And as a surgical tech, watching people at fast food use the same freaking pair of gloves for every customer was insane.
Yeah. You go to any sandwich shop and they've got these flimsy plastic gloves on and they're making sandwiches for everybody.
They're making sandwiches and then they're taking your cash and they're taking your credit card and they're ringing it up and they're not changing their glove.
Yeah, I know.
It was dumb. It was dumb. I got the masks. I got the 6 feet apart, but there were a lot of other things that I was just like, this is kind of ridiculous. Like
in our local branch of Subway, they don't. I've always seen them use a new pair of disposable gloves with every customer.
In America, man, those guys were dumb as fuck. It was so bad in America that even though elective surgeries were and non-emergent surgeries were taken out and most of us CSTs were furloughed, hospitals were hiring CSTs to teach nurses and doctors how to gown and glove because they've literally never done it before. Like our entire job was to teach people how to maintain sterility because the doctors and nurses didn't know how to do it. It's like
Whoa.
our whole system was really stupid.
Speaking of Wuhan and Wuhan, what about Waymo?
What
The
is Waymo?
self-driving taxis. Have you
And
seen
those
those?
kind of scare me. Yes. Was it? Hold on. There's one that's causing a big old ruckus in like a big city because all they can hear are these self-driving taxis around the neighborhood, and they basically caused traffic jams with
Yeah.
themselves, and they're just like driving around the neighborhood, just wasting whatever.
I saw this one video. A guy lives in San Francisco in one of these high-rise apartments, and right outside of this apartment building, that's where they keep all of the Waymos. Okay, the company. That's where they park them. And at midnight, for some odd reason, they all start honking their horns at each other.
I saw that. I saw that.
And these guys are going, "What the fuck?"
You know, it'd be great. Conspiracy theory time. The reason why they're doing that is they're communicating.
Yeah,
The smart cars are sentient.
they're talking to each other.
Yeah, I saw, man, smart cars scare me because they have to calculate essentially whose life is more important in a real shit situation. How do you calculate that as a car?
Yeah, it's like
How?
what they can do is they calculate, they know the laws. They can read all the cars around them and the lights and so forth. And they're usually pretty good in a basic traffic situation. But you know, if an emergency, like I said, emergency happens, they would just continue on their merry way and you say, wait, I'm a doctor. I want to stop the car. Well, you can stop the car. Actually, they have a thing you can say, just let me out, you know, but they have to navigate online basically. And a lot of times what's online is not accurate and they'll let you off like 8 blocks away. And this is your destination. Have a nice trip. Be careful getting out of the car. And but no, it's really kind of a cool thing. I saw one that this one was driving erratically. It was like it couldn't make up what lane it wanted to be in. It was like it was jostling from left lane to right lane off to the to the curb and back again. And a cop pulled it over. So it read that there was a cop behind it, and it pulled over. And when he walked up to the driver's side window, the window came down, and it's like, what does the cop do? May I see your license and registry?
Who does he write the ticket out to?
Well,
Right?
I found out there's an information communication button right inside the window on the dashboard that the police officer pushes, and then a person on the other line can converse with the officer and give him the car number and all this kind of shit, you know.
Could you imagine Granny being like stuck in a hit and run situation? She don't know how to get out of the car. She's just along for the ride. I'm just saying.
It's another Wuhan.
Yeah, another
Waymo.
one.
So, ethical question about self-driving cars. Do you think they should be allowed to carry drunk people?
Well, they do. They do. Like in Los Angeles, they just started this thing where, was it after midnight? They offer free rides to people who can't drive or shouldn't be driving or actually intoxicated. They just call up Waymo and they will come and pick them up and drive them home for nothing.
Right, but if there's a problem with the car, then a human has to take over, surely.
They can't.
They can't.
No, they'd have to find another ride.
Oh, is there no steering wheel or anything?
There is, but it drives itself.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not going to let someone hop in the car and take over the wheel. It's not going to do that.
Yeah, that would be silly, wouldn't it?
Well, I think the whole thing is kind of silly, but they seem to be working. I'm just saying, there's
quote
some,
unquote working. I mean,
yeah.
there's been.
Well, I mean, it's bad
I'm
enough
a daddy, man.
drivers.
It's terrifying.
Taxi drivers lost the war against Uber, and instead of getting a medallion, any old person can be a driver now, and now Uber people are losing their jobs to just cars.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, they should have hired a bunch of Mexicans instead of coming up with this idea.
brought it back around again. Good one, Phil.
No. Well, I was going to say something. Actually.
Use them to deport all the Mexicans.
Just be like, yeah, sure, this will take you wherever you want to go, as long as it's Mexico.
But there are restaurants who have leftovers at the end of the night, and they have a program with Waymo where they call Waymo, and Waymo will come and pick up the food that's left over and take it to shelters.
Well,
that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Like
they have
that.
these different programs like that, or elderly homes or whatever.
Like,
really
here's
cool.
my leftover 6-ounce steak and mashed potatoes. Here, y'all.
Well, no, I
Or,
mean,
yeah.
if they have pre-prepared things in the back,
Oh, okay, got you.
you got a pizzeria and they've got 5 leftover pizzas,
Yeah,
That'd be a
that
good
makes
night at the
sense.
shelter.
We used to do that on St. Simon's. It's really strange. It kind of blew my mind for it to be like one of the top 10 wealthiest zip codes. There are homeless people on the island, and it's just a well-kept secret. But anyway, we would do that at the pizza place. One of the guys that worked with us was homeless, and he would hand it out to his friends on the pier. And yeah, which I think is how it should be anyway, right? Because these restaurants that just are chucking food at the end of the night aren't doing right.
Yeah. McDonald's was a big one. I mean, all the leftover burgers they have all lined up there they would throw out pounds of pre-made burgers, every single
And all
night.
they would have to do is stick it in the freezer. So my sister's father-in-law used to when they would have a 2-for-1 or whatever sale on Big Macs or whatnot, he'd stick it in the freezer, and he went up later on. They could just do that in the night and then have
happens,
anybody around come pick it up.
Yeah, that happens every time they go back to the 1954 $1 burgers, and people go in and they buy 20 burgers and then they put them in the freezer.
I mean, they make fun of Americans for being overweight, but they make it so much easier and more affordable to kill ourselves than to get something semi-healthy.
God knows I am.
Did you hear about the they're showing that there's a bunch of drinks, and the FDA never said anything, and they didn't make anybody clock that they had this, but there was Welch's apple juice, or one of them had a massive amount of, what is it that's caused by apple seeds? Is it cyanide? Arsenic.
Yeah,
so it had dangerous amounts of arsenic in it. We have all of this stuff that we're consuming that they don't have to tell us what we consume, what we're putting in our bodies. Other countries have big giant warning labels, and we incentivize getting 2 Big Macs for $1.50. But you go to get a salad and it's $16. What? I don't even think does McDonald's even have their salads anymore? Or did they just give up?
I think they gave up.
They
used to have their chicken. That was this Southwestern chicken salad thing they had, but yeah, I never even had one.
Me neither. If I'm going to McDonald's, I don't know. If I'm going to McDonald's, I want a freaking burger, man. McDonald's is so bad for you, and you never feel good after you eat it, ever. You feel like trash, but it's so good. It's like crack.
Their cheeseburgers are actually, good food. They're not. There's nothing.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing weird in it. Now I did
Mm-mm.
get sick off of Big Macs once in a while, and I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
why.
Big Mac will tear me up.
Oh
Maybe the
yeah, I
Thousand
don't know what
Island is bad.
it could be. Whatever they're putting in that dressing, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't buy the Big Mac. I'll get a double cheeseburger, and then that's it.
See, I'm a McDouble girl or a quarter pounder, and I'm happy every once in a while I want some chicken nuggets, but that's not very often.
I
'Cause
like
they're
the
a
A
pain.
and W. I like the A&W Papa Burger.
Dude, I'm so jealous. There's no A&W around here, and I love A&Ws.
It's like my
Love
fave.
root beer.
Yeah,
Love
you go into an A&W. There's one right here in Linwood, and you go in the A&W, and it's really great because you say, if you eat in, you go, I'll have it. I'll have a 16-ounce root beer in the frosty mug. They still have those big, heavy glass frosty mugs, and they keep them in the freezer. And when they pull them out, you can see all the, smoke. It's not smoke, but coming out of it, and they big old
Yeah.
frosty mug, and they put that root beer in there, and there's nothing like it.
I
Yeah,
love
I love.
root beer. Root beer is the best thing America to ever have come out
That's
of
the
America.
most un-British thing I think I've ever heard. Isn't it
Right.
known that
Good.
people in Britain freaking hate root beer?
I love root beer.
It's a Marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it. I found a can today for about 79 pence. It was really, really nice.
The trick
about
about root
about
beer.
a dollar.
The trick about root beer is if you go to a soda fountain or A&W, they're not as highly carbonated as what you get in a can, and it tastes better. Carbonation destroys flavor. Did you know that?
I agree. Yes, I knew that.
Because it dilutes it with carbon dioxide. So if you're going to get a can of root beer, make sure you pour it into a big tall glass and maybe stir it a bit to get all that carbonation out, and you will be surprised how good it tastes.
Yeah, I remember doing a taste test thing at a place, and they were like, we want you to guess, which is from a can, a bottle, blah blah blah, and which was from the fountain, and I was able to guess, and they're like, how did you know? And I was like, the carbonation content. The can has way too much carbonation. The bottle is but I always prefer fountain because it doesn't have as much carbonation.
Yeah,
Oh,
it just
wow.
tastes
It's more
better.
syrup. Yeah, fountain is always the way to go. Always.
God, I'm trying to- I'm
Always.
trying to-
I hate canned soda. I'll drink it, but I don't prefer it at all.
trying to think of the nicest brand of root beer I've ever had. There's an amazing one, but I can't pin it down now. I know what I was going to say. I remember in the 1980s, every branch of McDonald's sold root beer, and you could choose it. You could have, before they signed a deal with Coke or anyone else, it was McDonald's Cola. Yeah, if you said, "Can I have a Coke or a Pepsi?" they legally had to say it's McDonald's Cola. Is that okay? We'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." Yeah, so you'd get it was McDonald's Cola, or I think they had orangeade, maybe lemonade, and they had root beer. And I remember a mate of mine bought it once, and we were like, "That is brilliant. That is amazing." And didn't look back.
Yeah, we used to have a thing called Frost Top, and when I was in high school, I and a couple of my friends, we'd always go in we wouldn't always, we'd go into the Frost Top and get their root beer because it was like the best thing we've ever had.
Now that I know, I'll have to send you some American root beers. And have you had sarsaparilla?
Sarsaparilla is really nice.
You can buy it as a cordial over here in Tesco's in the foreign foods section. You can buy sarsaparilla cordial. Yeah, and you can tell that is like the essence of root beer. It's great stuff.
It's it's so good. It's like molasses. Oh,
yeah.
But you can't beat A&W cream soda. That is the best stuff in the world.
Same.
That
Yeah,
does-
I don't
love
know.
cream soda.
I'm a cherry wine girl, but I do love me some A&W cream soda.
No other
Cheers.
brand of cream soda is nearly as good as A&W cream soda. It's the best.
You know it's crazy.
What? What's crazy? Okay.
Nikki's crazy.
I think Nikki's gone.
I think she's answering her phone.
No, that was me.
You're
My
answering
wife-
Nikki's phone?
My wife was just phoned me and messaged me and asked me to bring up her wedding rings, which she took off before doing the washing up, and that's what the phone call was.
Why are you Nikki talking on the phone? And what's this about a wedding ring?
What?
Nikki,
I wasn't talking on the phone. I think
I just
Apparently,
making-
Tom and you are married now or something.
Oh,
man.
congratulations, Tom. I'm a real catch.
God.
Tom
We're
wore
gonna
the
turn up.
dress.
We down the aisle. I'd be the one wearing the damn wedding dress.
That's right.
You'd
Tom would
be-
be dressed in white.
I know. And
Yeah.
I would make you my hot, sexy bitch in the honeymoon.
oh shit! I barely survive. I barely come out in one piece.
Two pieces at least. Okay. That'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. It's good night from me, and it's good night from everyone else. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.